Okay, the next example or best practice is about weighting so that the survey results are statistically and demographically representative of the community. What am I talking about? Male surveys, unfortunately, have strong built-in biases towards oversampling, and what I mean by is like over-interviewing white, older individuals. It's just a fact, and it undermeasures and undercaptures sentiment of younger populations, populations of color, and lower income. And I know all of you that are on here understand the difficulty to really get good data, especially opinion data, among those hard-to-reach populations and that diversity. But what am I talking about? A male survey is guaranteed to come back with it being way too many interviews of seniors and not enough interviews of young families and so forth. And what do I mean by that? This is the 2021 unweighted data that was done by Polco, and I give them credit for producing these results so that they're very transparent about how the survey was conducted. This population norm, what is this? This is the U.S. Census Bureau's latest projections of what percentage of the adult population is 18 to 34 years old. So you can see here, 29% of the adults in Broomfield, in reality, and I do live in Broomfield, I am a resident, is what makes up the adult population. Now, the unweighted data, you can see the survey that came in had 15%. So out of all the return surveys and stuff that was done online, 15% of all respondents. So for them to make it demographically representative to the truth, they had to weight it up by about 15 points. That's a pretty big weighting amount. We typically want to do everything we can so that we don't have to weight it as much. So what they're doing is they're taking that 15%, they're basically doubling and replicating those 15% of interviews to make up for that 18 to 34, so it's whole. What population or what percentage of the Broomfield population is 55 years older? It's 28%. However, the male survey, not surprisingly, 52 or half of all responses that they received were among seniors. So they had to weight that down by 22 points. That's a pretty big drag down that you really want to avoid if possible. And you think these things through your data collection method. Another example, again, Westminster, their 2020 residential survey. 18 to 34 should be about 34%, but their male survey only produced 10%. So they had to weight that up 20 points. Seniors, 55 and older, the unweighted data, it should be 27%, but actually 61% of all responses that they got in the mail and other means were seniors. So they had to drag that down and reduce it by 30 points. That's a pretty big move. And then even the middle-aged folks, 35 to 54, they had to weight that from 28% up to 39%. Kind of uncomfortable numbers. Furthermore, let's look at Lakewood. Again, similar pattern. 2/3 of their respondents were 55 and older, and they had to drag that down by nearly 32 points. And they had to weight up younger voters. But also I would just show here of the Hispanic community, the population norm should be 18%, but only 7% of their sample was folks that were from the Hispanic community. So they had to weight that up a little bit too. So that weighting is pretty severe. And texting and the data collection method that we employ is much more, the data is quieter. It is much more representative. We will pick up at least 20% of seniors, so we may have to weight them up a little bit, but we sure as heck aren't weighting any subpopulation group or core population subgroup by 30 points.